upon calling on you today to hear my words of wisdom about following directions. Why can I talk about this? Because I have experienced not following directions and following directions. Remember earlier this week I posted about modeling success. Well, how often have we actually picked out a leader and decided to follow that person, and then the very first suggestion they gave, we go, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't think that's not me. That's not my personality. I'm not going to do that. Well, learning is about changing, about believing that the leader that we picked is no different than us. And if we just follow their path, we'll get to where they are, where we want to be. I mean, how often have you made a cake and you look at the recipe, you go, no, I'm not going to put that ingredient in. No, I don't like that one either. I think I'll do this. Does the cake turn out like your friends who gave you the recipe? Probably not. What about a recipe that, this is what I do all the time. I will get all the ingredients out and I'll glance at the recipe and I'll just put everything in together. And then I read the recipe again and it's like, oh no, you were supposed to blend this first, or you're supposed to put that yeast in warm water first. Directions are really very important. It's just like if you finally stop and you're lost and you finally stop for directions and you get them, you write them down, and then you get to a juncture and you go, no, I think I'll go this way. Hello. So I found myself in that position many years ago. I had never had any training in selling advertising. It was a long road, 2 years of in and out of advertising because I was scared to death. I had nobody ever took me out on a training, on an advertising call. I had no clues on how to sell advertising, but I was determined because I was told I had a natural knack for it. So I was determined to figure it out. And reading personal development books, listening to tapes, you name it, I finally became extraordinarily successful in selling advertising. I have a magazine still going strong in upstate New York after 25 years. So yes, I finally figured it out. But then when economy changed and Saudi Arabia broke out and I was in an Air Force town, I had to recreate myself. And I got into selling timeshare down in a little resort in Vermont. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't have any training there either. This is what we do. This is how you say it. Blah, blah, blah. Here you go. Pretty straightforward, very simple. So I was successful very quickly. But it was a very small resort, and the developer that was running the resort was not filling our paychecks correctly. We were not getting them cash. So, that's not a good place to work. The writing was on the wall. It was time to move on. A friend of mine suggested that I move to Virginia to this incredible resort in the Blue Ridge Mountain Range. Gave me a contact and his referral. I made the call. I got the job. Loaded up all of my stuff into my little tiny 4-cylinder car, and I took off for the Blue Ridge Mountain Range, 11 hours away. I get there. I am giving a mini training, and then I'm put out on what they call the sales line. I get my first tour, and I'm very nervous. I've never put people in my car and drove them around. At the other resort, they just came in. We walked them around. This one, we had 17 stops to make. It was a 2,500-acre resort. We had to show them the golf courses, the miniature golf course, the clubhouse, the models, you name it. We had all this stuff to do, and the whole time you're engaging the couple or the family that's riding with you. You're explaining things, you're sharing things, you're asking questions, you're getting to know them. Well, I just winged it because I figured, what the heck? I have been successful selling advertising. I was known as the Golden Girl of advertising in upstate New York. I'm good to go. Okay, so we get done. 8 hours later, we're sitting on the deck of this resort, and they weren't going for it. And then I asked a question that I should have asked a long time ago in that 8-hour time frame, but I was still learning. And the question was simply, okay, and this was addressed to the wife, what do you do while he's out golfing? She blew her cork. I never saw it coming. She just raged on him about how they would sit in the hotel and be bored and disgusted and mad while he was out pursuing his passion of playing golf. So it was quickly discerned that if they got this membership at the resort, they lived locally, they could come and enjoy swimming and miniature golf and tennis and all those things. And Dad could actually go off and play golf by himself if he wanted to. So anyway, they did join. And several months later, they were in the clubhouse and dripping wet. They'd all been swimming. So it was wonderful. I always felt that I was bringing something very special into people's lives when I sold them their timeshare. But back to the story. It was called that I had busted my cherry. That was the terminology for timeshare when you got your first person. But then I heard rumors about a little bit of a jinx that happened if you sold your very first tour. Well, you hear it, you believe it. I believed it. I couldn't sell it again. I couldn't give it away. Nothing, not a zilch, nothing. I was just, phew. I went through about 10 tours and they pulled me off the line without telling me. The next thing I know, I'm in training. The training was a little tiny room with a little TV and some homemade videos. And in this room, where I was required to watch this training film, were 6 guys who would just automatically, without saying anything, oh, we don't want to watch this training anymore. We want to watch this comedy. I was fuming. I was very angry because I did not move away from my kids 11 hours away to fail. I wanted to be successful at this. I saw the people who were successful and they were no different than me. And they were making tons of money and having tons of fun. And I wanted to be that person. So, in order to be that person, I had to follow the script of the top producer. I learned that script. And I went to the boss and I said, I'm ready to get back out there. I want another chance. He said, are you sure? I said, absolutely. I got to get out there. He puts me out back on the line. I very quickly became a power player, meaning tours would come in. If I'd had a tour that morning and I walked in to turn in my tour voucher so I could get ready for the next one, if there were 5 or 6 reps sitting in that room that had not gotten a chance to take a tour that day, it did not matter. I got the next one walking through the door. It was brutal. I worked long, hard hours, but my referrals started coming in. They were pre-sold before I even met them. So it was like a big family party all the time. They came in and I sold them. But the reason why I became successful was because I followed Tommy's script word for word. I did not change it. I did not put another story in there. I did not massage it to fit my personality. It was what sold people. I followed it and it worked. So what I'm sharing with you today, to make this shorter than yesterday's, is to share with you, if you pick a leader and you want to follow them, follow their directions. Do what they tell you to do. Don't shake your head and say, oh no, I'm not doing that. Then why did you choose them to be your mentor, to be the person you want to follow? My recommendation is this. If you want to follow very, very best in this industry, join me and follow me and the leaders of this company because they are rocking it. We have a community and a culture like no other. We have a movement that is moving lives in ways that nobody ever expected. I am a far better person than I was 90 days ago when I got in here. I put down my $25. I made the decision. I put that $25 in and I took off. I started blogging every day, doing my videos every day, listening to the inner circle. I did everything they shared with me to do. And now I'm going to Denver in July because I went to Chicago. It was amazing. So I invite you, follow directions. Just click on that button that says start now. Join me. get busy. Let's follow directions together, and I will meet you in Denver. So take care. I'm passing on a smile. You do the same. Bye-bye.